the cheerleaders, the Newman loyalty. And now your starting lineup for your Newman Comet defense. And a defensive lineman, number 5, John Rousey. And another defensive lineman, number 50, Matthew Murray. And another defensive lineman, number 54, Jacob Payne. At linebacker, number 4, Matt Blackard. At another linebacker, number 3, George Youngerman. At another linebacker, number 51, Riley Mason. At another linebacker, number 1, Tyson Williams. At cornerback, number 11, Parker Stroman. And another cornerback, number 21, Rylan Alvarado. At safety, number 9, Asher Ernst. And another safety, number 7, Jackson Graham. And that's your starting defense.
Yeah, we're going to start talking, and shoot me a text, let me know what you think.
Like for real or just a check? Yep.
Good evening and welcome, actually good afternoon, and welcome to Sterling High School football field and Rock River Community Radio's broadcast of EP Sports, where this afternoon we're bringing you what hopes to be a really good matchup between two unbeatens. Fresh off of a win from last week, are your EP Panthers beating Hall pretty handily, 19-6, I believe was the final score of that game, maybe 19-7. And we're going to be playing against the Newman Comets today. And Newman coming off of a come-from-behind victory over Mendota, took them into the second half before they took command of that game. Victorious 35-18 was the score of that game. And I'm Scott Miner alongside my co-host, as usual, Scott Hammer. Welcome, Scott, and shaping up to be a good game today.
Yeah, feels like playoff football.
You got two undefeated teams. Yeah, it works better if it's unmuted.
Yeah.
And like you say, we're both 2-0. First conference matchups for both teams. Newman beat Princeton week 1, 28-14. And then, like you say, had a closer game with Mendota, 35-18. Mendota lost last night, so they're 0-3. And Princeton's 1-2, so Newman hasn't been challenged with tough opponents. Neither has EP, so this will be our both good test today.
Yeah, I was watching what was going on.
The national anthem.
Didn't quite hear what you're doing. We're going to play the national anthem. So I actually got a prayer going on, so we'll stand by for just a second.
Thank you, Hannah. Today's national anthem will be sung by Newman High School sophomore vocalist Jessica Artis.
And that was the playing of our national anthem to a flag flown at half-staff. A rough week for our country. Of course, Thursday, our flags flown at half-staff in memory of the 24th anniversary of 9/11 and all of those who lost their lives on that fateful day, and flags flying at half-staff for several days in honor of Charlie Kirk and the assassination that took place earlier this week. And just pray that our nation can heal from that and move forward.
What a great rendition of that anthem. I always love it when a student sings it, and she did a great job.
She did.
And for all those bettors that took the over, you will win your bet.
Yes. So let's get ready to play some football. We're just a minute away or so from kickoff. And like I said, a couple of unbeatens coming into today. And Panthers have looked really good the first couple of weeks. Certainly in week one, Kewanee Boilermakers coming in, just set the tone really early in our home opener and basically held Kewanee in check the entire football game.
Yeah, we got that fast start against Kewanee that we wanted and just never really seemed to catch our stride last week against Hall for whatever reason. Hall was a much improved team from last year's team, and maybe that caught us off guard a little bit, but we didn't get many plays at all to Evan Steinley, who's going to have to be a key contributor in this game. The captain's toss, Newman won the toss and deferred. EP elected to receive the ball, and they'll be going left to right across your radio dial, but those of you tuning in to YouTube, You get to see them heading towards the scoreboard. I love Sterling High School's campus. It feels like a little college facility here. You can see the school in the background and the gym facility over there. They have AstroTurf field. It's just a great facility here.
It is. I got a chance to walk across this field a little while ago. Hard turf brings back some memories for me. Kenneth Cole, back when he was playing football here, or for EP, had gotten some rubber, and there's a rubber surface beneath it.
Yeah.
The pellets. Actually got some in his eye, and the next day had to help him over at the fire station get some of that out of there. So just a different surface to play on, but certainly a beautiful facility, like you said. And we are just about set to get underway, and the Newman Comets will be kicking off in what hopes to be just a solid football game here on a really hot middle of September day. And here we go. Let's play some football. And the kick is up, and it's a good one. It's going to go to Connor Keegan. He's going to field it about the 11-yard line. Fielded cleanly, and good pursuit, and met very quickly. Going to not get to the 20-yard line is Connor.
Yeah, they didn't get the first initial attack. Jackson Graham got the tackle there for Newman. The lead blockers weren't able to pick him up. So EP is going to start the ball, looks like right about the 6-yard line. Going to start it on the right hash.
And I want to give some credit where
I meant 16.
Give some credit where credit is due today. We kind of got a little bit of a revolving door right now with a cameraman. Bill Weber did our camera last week, and he's not able to be here today. My brother Chad is filling in for camera duties today, so thank you, Chad, for doing that. 1st and 10, Panthers. 3 receivers split wide left for the Panthers. Low snap. Keegan's going to keep this ball right at the middle, and he's going to have a nice gain, pickup of maybe 5 on that play.
Yeah, a little bit of a busted play. Looked like they were going to run an option to the right with Tristan Hovey, but good job on Keegan just picking it up and getting yardage. We'll take 5 yards every time. Yeah,
one of the keys that Coach Whitebread had for this game was winning first down on both sides of the football all day long was an important task. A second thing was that our offensive and defensive lines need to play lower than the Newman offensive and defensive lines all day. Here we have Evan Steinley in motion right to left, and they're going to pitch the ball out to Tristan. He's going to try to get out to the outside, and he's going to make the corner and pick up a few, going to be short of a first down.
Yeah, there's a flag out there, probably a hold on one of our edge blockers, I would guess, is usually what that is. That's what the initial signal is. That'll be tough. That'll take away a decent gain there. Newman only had 3 down linemen in that set. We were split up pretty wide. I'll march us back, go from 3rd and 2. It's going to take us back to about 2nd and 15.
That's a costly penalty for the Panthers early on. Going to drive us all the way back to the 11-yard line. Will it be 2nd and long? And got a little issue with the stream. I take full credit for this. I had one cord that wasn't plugged in properly in the right order, and we do not have a stream going through the app, so you can only watch it on YouTube today. Back to pass is Keegan Winkler, and he's got a catch to Evan Steinley, and a couple of yards after the catch, the reception past the 20-yard line up to about the 24, so nice gain on 2nd down.
Yeah, a nice job getting Evan involved. He never had a reception last week. He had a couple targets, wasn't able to catch one. Going to get us right about probably a little bit better position than we would have had with that penalty. It's going to be 3rd and short now.
Injury updates from for this week, just real quick. Keegan Cole is out with a concussion this week. Connor Keegan feeling good about his shoulder, trending upward. Tristan Hovey's back to full strength. And Braden Frank out early this week with sickness, but back in full strength. 3rd down upcoming for the Panthers, couple to go. And Keegan's going to keep it himself right up the middle. He's going to have a first down up to the 29-yard line. Good play by the Panthers.
Yeah, nice job up there. Lead blocking by Gavin Adams, our Scott's Player of the Week last week, and gave room for Keegan to go in there and get that first down. We're pretty impressed with the size of Gavin when we gave him that trophy last week. He hides a pretty good body underneath those shoulder pads. He's looking at his stats, 5'11", 200, and I believe every bit of that 200 after we were down there last week.
Yeah, an impressive game by Gavin last week, and like Scott said, Scott's Player of the Week. And we'll be looking to name another Scott's Player of the Week at the end of this game tonight. First down for the Panthers, 3 receivers split right, wide right. Max Milam in motion to the left. And a fumble, and Keegan Winkler is going to just fall on that football. It was a little bit of a low snap. He started to get the handle on it, but then dropped it again, and just a busted play. Smart play by Keegan just to fall on it.
Yeah, it looked like multiple errors on that play because Keegan looked like he wanted to hand off to Tristan, and Tristan didn't look like he was ready for it. So a lot of miscommunications. Hate to go backwards on first down. Whatever wind we have is Well, I would say slightly into.
Yeah, not much
Not
much wind blowing. We're up here on the rooftop of the press box today. Scott Hammer made the executive decision to set up camp up here. I'm glad he did that. All right, Connor Keegan in motion. They're going to flip the ball to him and going to try to get this thing. Newman does a good job of stringing that out, and we're going to lose more yardage. Going to lose a couple more. Going to bring up a 3rd and long for the Panthers, and Newman snipped that out really well.
Yeah, they did. That's a little jet sweep. We never really ran that play last week. I think we kind of mentioned that during the broadcast that we kind of had gone away from that. So we brought it back, and it didn't work.
It's been a bread and butter play for us for a couple of years, and I think teams have picked up on that, and maybe time to set that thing aside for a little while and put it back in the bank.
Or do a little wrinkle out of it.
All right, 3rd and long. 3 receivers split wide right. Got a lone receiver left. Tristan in the backfield with Keegan. And straight drop back looking to throw the football. Good pressure by Newman. Keegan able to get around and throws the ball up, and it's going to get picked off. Throw it right to the Newman defender, and he's up the sideline and going to get knocked out of bounds at a 5-yard line. A poor decision by Keegan there, and results in a turnover. The first turnover of the year for the Panthers.
Yeah, he was just trying to make something happen. He was under a lot of pressure from the outside, and he was able to escape that. It looked like Matthew Blackert was the linebacker chasing him, and underthrown. That would have just been a good one to bounce it at someone's feet. So fortunately, they didn't get a pick 6 out of it, so we can bully up here and hold them out of the end zone.
Asher Ernst, with the interception there for the Comets. And not a great start for the Panthers, and they're going to have to start their first defensive series at their own 5-yard line. And direct snap to 21, and straight ahead they go, and a pickup of 4 on that play. Going to get it down to, looks like, well, maybe a gain of 3 down to the 2-yard line.
Yeah, Ryan Alvarado was the carrier on that. Newman had a formation there that we've seen a lot of over the years, double tight, and 3 running backs in the formation. They just try and bully you up the field with a lot of size.
Alvarado, a transfer from Morrison last year into this program. 2nd and goal for the Comets. Under center. Going to hand the ball off, second back through. And there's a signal. There's a touchdown for the Comets, and a quick Comet lead, 6-0 your score.
Yeah, we put ourselves right against the wall. We didn't want to do that, give them the ball at the 5-yard line. Nice lead block there for Newman. We'll have to respond now. First time we've been trailing this year. Looks like Newman's going to go for the 1-point PAT. I cannot make heads or tails of Newman's program. I guess it's by class. So to try and find out their players, Aiden Gutierrez is the kicker.
Scott's going to run the
a good snap and a good hold, and it's right down the middle. Extra point is good, so 7:31 left in the first quarter. The score is 7-0. Scoreboard has us with the touchdown. They need to take that off there. Feel free to keep it on, I guess. What are you working on, Scott?
I'm working on the score, so your score should be updated. 7-0 is your score.
We're not doing the streaming isn't working? You said?
No, the streaming's, the app, the Rock River Community Radio app, if you're trying to listen only. I neglected to get that set up properly. So YouTube is up working fine. We're getting some feedback from people that's up. That stream's working okay. My apologies if you run into somebody that tried to pick this up on the phone app. That's not working today. 7-0 is your score with 7:31 to go here in the first quarter. Your Panthers trailing after a interception and return down in deep into Panther territory resulted in a 2-play drive for the Newman Comets where they were able to punch it in.
Yeah, it's going to be really important for us to at least get a couple first downs after that and get a little momentum going. Certainly don't want to get a 3-and-out. Great kickoff return would be a great way to start. 31, Aiden Pyron is back along with Connor Keegan, and I don't quite see who the near back is over here.
7, Gavin Adams.
Gavin Adams.
And while Newman's getting set to kick off, we're able to stream because of the internet speeds we have in 1080. So we're pushing 1080. We're pushing really good stream out to you. In just a minute, I'll explain to you that you may not be receiving it that way, and it could be a change that you need to make on your own end. I'll give you just a little bit of a brief explanation in a second here. All right, here's the kick, and it's up and good, and it's going to go to Gavin here at about the 10-yard line, and it's fumbled, and he's going to have to fall on it. at the 11-yard line. So not a very good start for the Panthers early in this football game, and we're going to have to get settled down a little bit. And
yeah, we got the shade up here, so I went out and looked, and he actually is looking right into the sun on that kick. That might have been why he wasn't able to field it cleanly. At least he was able to fall on it, so we retained possession.
So if you're watching the stream, your device may be set to just the best quality based on your internet speed. You have the ability to change that, so you may be streaming in a lesser quality than you actually could be watching it. If you want a little finer quality, maybe try setting that up to a next size up, 720, 1080. Maybe getting a better stream that way. All right, here we go. Panthers 1st and 10. Keegan's going to keep this ball up the middle. He's got a nice little gain. Ball looks like it was on the ground, but I think Keegan's able to fall back on it. Ball past the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Faked a little toss pitch to the right and ended up keeping himself. Our line, we talked about that last week with Mason Minson as a sophomore, Jordan Crow Mason Minson at left tackle, Jordan Crow at left guard, Brecken Sandrock at center, Derek Nasker, excuse me, at tackle, guard, and Caleb Reamer at tackle. All sophomores and juniors.
Eerily similar. The ball spotted on the 21-yard line, 2nd and 5. Max in motion, and Keegan's going to keep it himself again. Going to try to go behind the Caleb Reamer block, and good job by the Newman defense there, and little to no gain there.
Yeah, the line for Newman was able to get underneath there and not allow us to get any push. Caleb pulled around that left side and just wasn't able to move the pile at all. 3rd and 4.
3rd and 5 for the Panthers.
PA guy says 3rd and 5. That's a short 5. We only got 4 yards to go.
6:16 to go in the first quarter. Clock running. Panthers in a pretty good need of a couple of first down here just to get things rolling in their direction a little bit. Momentum definitely in Newman's court right now. A couple of receivers in the slot left. Gavin going to reset to the right slot. Another poor snap and big pressure, and the Panthers are just out of sorts right now.
Yeah, we had talked about how good the snaps had been last week and the first 2 weeks, and we had just 1 or 2 bobbles last week, and we're at about 75% of the snaps. Keegan's having a hard time making the exchange. Going to bring up 4th and about 11. It'll be in a punting situation.
Ball spotted right on the 15-yard line, right in the middle of the field, and Panthers will be setting up to punt the football away. A couple of receivers, punt returners set just on the other side of midfield for the Comets. Keegan getting set up just outside the end zone. Derek Nosker been the long snapper. He's done a good job this year. And the kick is up. It's a short one. And they're going to call a flag on that, and I don't agree with that. They're going to say that he was face guarded. He called for a fair catch, but bobbled it. They're going to say that the EP defender was in his way.
Yeah, it looked like Connor Keegan got there a little early. He was right. He moved over to his side. I don't know if it was if he actually touched him or not, or if it was just a halo call.
They're going to call interference against the Panthers, so that'll be the second penalty of the day for the Panthers. That'll step them off and give the Comets another really good starting field position. That's 15 yards. That's a steep penalty, and it's going to mark them down into Panther territory at the 31-yard line, where the Comets will take over for the second time today.
Looks like they're going to take a water break. It might have been regular scheduled water breaks, is something they've done in the past on these really hot Saturday afternoon games. I think we had a couple of those on really hot Friday games last year. We didn't have to do it this week or this year yet, but it's definitely warm, and down there on that turf, I'm sure it's pretty hot. EP's got to feel hot under the collar, too, not getting anything going well at all.
See if the coaching staff can get them settled down a little bit, and a good defensive stop here will do wonders if we're able to do that.
They've got the play clocks down there, but they're not turned on. It's always nice to be able to know exactly how much time you have to get the ball snapped, but just got to look at the back judge, and if he starts counting, you got 5 seconds.
Sterling High School, this is their football field, and so if Sterling has a home game on a Friday night, Sterling Newman's home game is pushed to a Saturday afternoon, and I guess maybe they just don't get all of the amenities.
Apparently not.
That are enabled to the Sterling High School football team.
With this nice turf field, they've got perfect conditions, though. There was years back in the day, if one played on a Friday night, the other played on a Saturday, it could be pretty rough.
All right, both teams back on the field and at the line of scrimmage, and here we go. Panthers with 3 down linemen. Shotgun formation, looking to air it out, going to right down the middle, and a man wide open, and fortunately loses his balance, but a completed pass down to the 3-yard line.
Yeah, that was right to the sophomore Tyson Williams in the slot. He was unguarded on that. And he was kind of looking on the Newman side of the ball. I wasn't really looking at our what kind of formation we had defensively, but I think he wasn't even covered.
No, from the line of scrimmage to the time of reception, there wasn't a defender anywhere near him, and it was just a toss and catch. Wishbone set up for the Comets, and they're going to give it the second back through, untouched into the end zone, and the Comets up 2 scores early.
Well, this is not the start we wanted, Scott.
No.
We're down 13-0, barring the PAT attempt, and we haven't even got the ball across to the 30-yard line yet. So things are going to have to change in a hurry for the Panthers to right this ship and make this a competitive game.
Comets getting set for a PAT. Number 15 is their kicker.
Aiden Gutierrez.
Snap is good. Kick is up. Took a while to get there, but it's up and good.
All right, so now we got to get we really got to get moving. 14-0. Any scores from last night that you took note of?
I didn't get a chance to look at that and see if maybe you can find some.
Yeah.
The one score that I do know is that Princeton did get their first win of the season, but it was via a forfeit. Not Hall. Sherrard forfeited their game last night to Princeton because of a great number of illnesses. And they hope to be back on the field against Hall next week. So Princeton, although not being able to get a victory on the field, does get into the win column for the year. And you certainly wouldn't expect to hear that for the first time in week 3 for Princeton.
No, for sure. Orion beat Aledo 47-20. Rock Ridge beat Riverdale 49-21, giving Riverdale their first loss. That's it on the Rock side.
4:31 to go. The Panthers down a couple of touchdowns. Same setup with receivers, Connor Keegan in the middle, flanked by a couple of Panthers.
All right. Need to catch it in the air and get a good return here. Get it out across the 25 at least, well, then we'll get things moving. Move it down the field and change the momentum of this game. I'll tell you what, if you wanted to try a pooch over to the right side, there's a pretty big gap over there. I hope that's not part of their arsenal.
Newman is set up to kick on this closest left hash, and the Panthers accordingly set up over here. All right, again, bobbled at the 10-yard line, picked up, and able to stay on his feet, up past the 20, up past the 30. Finally, a good return by the Panthers. He's going to get forced out of bounds at the 35 after an initial bobble and what looked to be another potential poor starting field position.
Yeah, that was Gavin Adams. He slow to get off the field here. I don't know if he got a little dinged up, and that was one of those plays where he actually went out of bounds about 10 yards further up. He tiptoed up the sidelines for about 10 to 15 yards, and you were just hoping that he could get as much yardage out of that as he could. Out across the 30 is where it ended up.
31-yard line is the starting position for the Panther offense, and looking to make a dent and starting to establish things here will be the Panthers.
Needs to start with some good quarterback center exchanges.
All right, right up the middle is Keegan, and he's a nice first down gain, which is what we've done with each of the first 3 possessions, a gain of 4 on that play.
Faked a little toss sweep in there, and then Gavin Adams led up as a lead blocker coming in from the left side. Gave him a nice hole. We can make that work. We just can't, against these good teams, you can't have miscues and fumbles and interceptions just really dig you a big hole.
second and 5 for the Panthers.
2nd and 6 for the Panthers. Ball right at the 35-yard line. Shotgun formation. And Keegan was going to pitch that ball, and good thing he didn't, because number 4, the defensive end, was between Keegan and Max, who was going to be the recipient of that pitch.
Yeah, they were running an option to the left there, and normally one defender is let free, and then the quarterback has the option to keep the ball or to pitch it to the tailback. Newman on that play had the quarterback and the pitch man covered. Keegan had nowhere to go. Fortunately, he was able to turn it up just a little bit. Actually, it looks like they moved him back about a yard.
And that brings up 3rd and mid-range for the Panthers. 3 receivers out left. Good snap. Got a man open is number 8.
Graydon
Church. Nice reception up there near midfield. And that'll be a first down. And it looks like Graydon's banged up on that play.
Yeah, he did a really nice job reaching up there, grabbing that at the high point with his hands. Really nice throw and catch. Graydon hadn't got much action in the last couple games. Looks like he's kind of holding his side. I think he got tackled pretty aggressively in the rib area is what it's looking like. The ball is right at midfield. First down for the Panthers.
Really what Keegan did a nice job of recognizing that open man. We had a man in the flat there. I thought he was going to go to him right away, but Graydon was able to settle in right there at in that little open area at midfield, and Keegan found him. Graydon able to get up on his own, and just a little bit of a stinger maybe. And
yeah, wind knocked out is what I would say. It looks like to the rib or hip area. It's not a leg or anything. So I think it's something he'll recover from. It's just going to take a little time to work through all the aches out of a play like that. Gives the kids a chance to get another drink of water. It's going to be a hot one. They're not expected. Don't usually play in this kind of weather. Unless it's playoff football. Newman's more used to it.
All right, Panthers to the line. First down of the day for the Panthers, and up near midfield. Ball's just inside the Panther territory. Still at the 49-yard line. Shotgun formation. Tristan in the backfield with him. Going to throw the football on first down. Got a man in the flat. That's Evan Steinley. It's a catch inside Newman territory. Nice gain of about 7 on that play.
Had Evan Steinley running an under route. Max Milam was out there ahead of that. Really nice job by Keegan getting that pass out there. So nice catch by Evan. He was didn't get any receptions last week. He had 2 targets. So great job on him getting that long first down play. 2nd and 3 is what's coming up.
All right, Panthers on the move just a little bit. Max Milam coming out here wide right. Kind of a tight formation here with a couple of guys in the slot. Gavin Adams. Okay, they're going to run the ball off to the left side. And Keegan, in just a familiar little duck under, able to create a little extra room, couple extra yards there by making that first guy miss.
He does fight for extra yards. Tristan Hovey was out there lead blocking. The play was designed for him to take that all the way outside, but he didn't see the opening there and tried to get as much yardage as he can. Brings up 3rd and probably 2, and I would have to think we're in 4-down territory at this point. So,
minute 25 to go.
Yeah, just don't lose much on this one at all.
Well, where's your pessimism at? Let's get a couple yards, get a first down, keep moving. Minute 17 to go here in the first quarter. And shotgun formation, Tristan in the backfield. 2 receivers split each way for the Panthers. Man in motion is Connor. And they're going to throw the ball on 3rd down and short. And going to just try to throw the ball out of bounds and live to fight another day, or the Panthers.
Yeah, good job, Keegan, not trying to do anything too much extra there. We had Connor on that jet sweep action, and we ran to the short side here, and just nothing was open.
Panther offense staying on the field and likely going to go for it. Interesting play call there on 3rd and 2, looking to throw that football.
Yeah, I suppose they probably thought we were going to run on that play, and they thought maybe we could sneak one, get one behind them. We were not able to do that. 4th and 2, manageable yardage here.
Lone or empty backfield. And they're going to throw the football on 4th down, and it's tipped and going to fall incomplete, and they're going to turn the ball over on downs. Two passing attempts on 3rd and 4th down results in a Panther turnover.
Yeah, he had Tristan Hovey in the slot there running right that seam right up the hash, and that's who his intended receiver was. And big lineman for Newman was able to get his paw up there and knock the pass down. Would have been a potential for a big play on that one, but it's going to be a turnover. We don't try to do too much second guessing.
Nope.
But it was just an unfortunate. Looks like we're taking another timeout.
Take an opportunity. I'm not sure if the volume's up or not, but I got word that the game's being broadcast at Harvest Bakery and More today. So thanks for broadcasting and
I went there for breakfast this morning.
I was there for breakfast as well. So.
I really wanted to get this breakfast sandwich, and Lisa Hausman was my waitress, and I was looking at the menu and I couldn't find what it was, so I settled on a different breakfast, which was awesome. It was just a sausage, egg, and cheese thing. I finally found what it was. It was the Harvest Burrito. That's what I was trying to go for. So I'm going to go back there next Saturday and get a Harvest Burrito.
My wife and I opted for the buffet that they had today, and it was excellent. Street Fest going on in Erie today. If looking for something to do this afternoon, I'm not sure how long the car show's going, but it was going strong this morning. A lot of cars out, and people proud of their equipment, had it out. So get out and support the Street Fest and all the activities that are going on. Revitalize Erie have done a ton of work to promote activities and things going on in Erie, and appreciate all that they do.
Yeah, the concerts at night are always entertaining. There'll be 3 acts tonight. I think they start at 5 or 6 o'clock. It'll go to 11. Looking forward to that later this evening.
All right, Newman taking over on downs inside their own territory for the first time today. Up under center. Going to hand the ball off. Go off left guard and met very quickly by Derek Nosker. Good job by the defensive line there.
Yeah, the first time we got to say something positive for the defense, they had their backs against the wall. First 2 series that they were out there. Mary loves it when I say series. And Derek Nosker was able to get in there, and generous spot. Looked like it could have been more of a 2-yard loss, but
here's a pen if you could maybe spell that out for me. Series.
There's a lot of S's in it.
Yeah, they gave him just a loss of about a half a yard there by the spot of the football, right in the middle of the field. Good interior defensive line pursuit to the football there. And going to look to throw the football. Sails just a little bit, but it's caught. Keegan Winkler with the stop right about midfield. Helmet comes off, so that player will have to come off the football field for a play.
Yeah, a little play action there. They faked it to the running back up the middle and were able to hit that receiver out in the slot.
John Rosie Jr. was the target on that play.
Yeah, the program doesn't list their heights and weight, but he's a good-sized kid.
Ball looked like it might have either sailed out of the quarterback's hands or maybe slightly tipped. That's the end of the first quarter. Panthers trailing 2 scores, 14-0. But looked like here in the last minute or two, starting to settle in a little bit.
Right. You know, it was fast break basketball there for Newman. They got the ball inside the 10 on 2 straight possessions. So good chance to settle in a little bit here. I don't know exactly. Is it 3rd and 2 to go? The down marker is set up clear back there with, oh, yeah, I see. We're going the other way. Yeah, it's right. So it'll be 3rd down with 2 to go right at midfield for the Comets at the end of this timeout. For whatever reason, this is about the 3rd timeout. This is the quarter end, but there was 2 previous, so the kids have been getting plenty of water. It doesn't feel quite as hot as would have thought it would have been. You know, we had more humidity this summer. We certainly don't have that today. Plus, we're standing under a shade, so maybe it is hotter out there for them. We're in a good position here.
3rd and 2. Second quarter getting set to be underway. Shotgun formation, 2 backs in the backfield. Going to pass the football. Got a man right in the middle, and Graydon Church a step late and behind the receiver. It's a catch. Big gain for the Comets down to about the 30-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10.
Yeah, that was a really nice play fake by Newman. They faked the handoff and were able to pull it back and hit the split out going across on a drag. Big first down right at 30-yard line.
Their quarterback is so unassuming. Evan Bushman. Just a kid you wouldn't expect to get the job done, but he just is. He's accurate and is just always on the money. Going to throw the football again on first down. Scrambles out. Nosker on going for a jump ball, and that should have been an offensive pass interference. Put two hands right in the middle of the back of Connor Keegan there.
Yeah, it's one of those plays where if it was going the other direction, they would call that every time. The Newman defender or receiver was behind Connor and had his hands there and kind of pushed off. The ball sailed over his head. It's just the kind of play they never call the same way both ways. It's hard to understand that.
A little reminiscent of that play at the end of the game of the playoff game last year.
Playoffs.
That ended up being a touchdown for, what did we play?
Oh, yeah, down there south of Champaign.
Yeah. All right, man in motion for Newman. Right to left. Shotgun formation. Got it back behind him. They're going to hand the ball off to him. Going to go off right guard. Got a big hole. Got a man to beat. And he's got a nice gain down to the 15-yard line. Another first down for the Comets.
Yeah, big hole for him there. Graydon Church tried to meet him at about the 17 and kind of bounced off of him. Ball's going to be at the 15. First down for Newman. A little bit more passing out of the Newman offense than we're used to seeing, but they're pretty effective with it. Their quarterback throws a nice ball.
First and 10 Comets. Going to throw the football a little in route, and the defensive backfield struggling a little bit, had all kinds of room to catch that football and did, and into the end zone are the Comets.
Yeah, Newman had double tight ends, so it's kind of a running look by the offensive line, and yet they had two receivers split out, and they faked a little run up the middle with the fullback, so that draw a lot of attention to the middle of the field, and quarterback was just able to just lay it right in there to a wide open receiver.
10:56 to go in the second quarter. Newman up 3 scores, looking to add the extra point here. And the kick is up. And good. 21-0 is your score. Panthers on the short end of the stick.
Well, do you have any positive stuff to talk about? You got any scores from the week?
Yeah, let's talk about some other stuff going on with other EP sports. Volleyball team has been playing very well. They had a big tournament this last weekend in the Oregon Invite. They went through pool play unscathed, went 3-0 in pool play, straight set winners in all 3 of those games, and ran into Dixon in the bracket play and lost 26-28, 25-21, and 15-17 in that semifinal match, and then lost in the third place match to Lee Wynn. So picked up a 4th place in that Oregon tournament. Lauren Abbott and Ashlyn Johnson both were named to the all-tournament team. And this past week as well, Kaylee surpassed 1,000 assists. Kaylee Keegan for her career. So congratulations to Kaylee on her 1,000 assists for her career. Also, the volleyball team picked up a couple more wins at Rock Ridge and at Newman and at Rock Falls. So they have extended their season to 10-2 and off to a really good start.
So they're 10-0 in the regular season. Their only losses are just that tournament.
Correct.
So they're having a fabulous season.
Yep.
Can't wait to watch them in the postseason game. Maybe we'll do another broadcast.
Does sound like Rock River Community Radio is going to do a broadcast for the Volley for the Cure, so be watching for that. All right, Newman set the kickoff. We'll bring you some highlights from some of the other fall sports here in just a little bit. A little squib kick, and picked up on that far sideline, and that was Connor Keegan that picked that up. Might have been able to let that thing go out of bounds and would have picked it up at the 35-yard line, but opted to pick it up and going to get out to about the 27 or 28-yard line where the Panthers will take over.
Yeah, after Newman kicked it over to that left side 3 times in a row, they switched our return guys over there to try and get the big playmaker Connor Keegan's active in the return. Well, we're down 21-0 with 10:50 to go in the second quarter. Time to get the ball moving here. We don't have to. We'll be throwing into what little bit of wind that we have. That may help, but converting on third down is what's going to keep the ball moving down the field.
All right, hand off to Tristan, and he's got a big opening up past the 40-yard line and just a straight-ahead run. And that was what the doctor ordered right there, and that'll be a first down run for Tristan, resulting in a big gain out to the 41-yard line.
Yeah, he had Connor Johnson lead blocking out there for him, and he just couldn't know which way to go. He ended up running right into his back. If he could have gone to the outside, there was nobody there. Certainly a nice gain for Tristan, though. See if the line can continue that job of making those big holes.
Good burst of speed by Tristan there, right off the line. They're going to go to Tristan again, and again he's got a wide open, still on his feet, down inside the 45-yard line of the Comets, and may have found a little bit of momentum going on here.
Yeah, Jordan Crow at left guard was able to seal off his blocker there in the middle of the field, and Tristan ran right off of that block and got a great yard. That's about 35, 40 yards, 2 plays.
First down for the Panthers inside Comet territory. Panthers still have all 3 of their timeouts, 9:52 to go here in the half. Keegan's going to keep this up on his own, going to go out to the right side and get strung out of bounds for a little gain.
Yeah, Gavin Adams and Tristan Hovey out there blocking for him, and Newman just showed a great job setting the edge and then have enough speed to get out there to just make him keep running outside. And you know what they say, the sideline has never missed a tackle.
Haven't seen one yet. No gain on that play, 2nd and 10 for the Panthers.
You're supposed to say, who are they?
You want me to start over?
No, yeah, you're good.
All right. Tight formation for the Panthers. A couple of guys in the slot. Got to pitch the ball out to Tristan to this left side. Got a flag on the play. He's able to get to the outside. Nice gain. He's up near the first down marker. We'll have to see what that flag is.
It's normally a hold, but he threw that flag so quick.
Really early.
I can't believe it would be a hold. Almost maybe lined up in the neutral zone.
What I'm thinking, too.
Yeah. Two officials. He's talking about it. He's like, I don't know why he would be conferring.
Illegal procedure against the Panthers is going to be the call.
It must have been a formation situation, or he was over the line, or an illegal formation in some manner. Unfortunate.
Nice game by Tristan, negated. That'll be a 5-yard penalty and repeat the down. So 2nd and 15 for the Panthers. And that'll back them up to the 47, 48-yard line.
It's like Max Milam going out and Evan Steinley coming in. Sure would like to see some targets to Evan. He hasn't got his hands on the ball running very often yet this year. It's been mostly in the pass catching area.
Throw down the middle of the field, and it's caught by, I think that's Gavin Adams, and he breaks some tackles. He's going to get into the end zone. Great catch and run, and Gavin Adams continuing his just warpath kind of mentality of catching and running with the football.
Well, he really felt he had to do something after his 2 miscues at the kickoff return. And what a nice pass by Keegan Winkler getting that in there. Adams did a great job on that catch and then was able just to outrun everybody to the end zone. So a nice answer back here for EP. They're bringing the tee out.
That was a 48-yard strike from Keegan to Gavin and closes the gap. 21-6 is your score. And kind of passively aggressively here, the man behind the screen, Darren Keith, is reminding me that it's the 2nd quarter, and I've got the 1st quarter up on the scorecard. And that kick by Evan Steinley went through, so we're going to add another point to the scoreboard there. 21-7 is your score. And I am going to try to find where the quarter is and try to fix that.
Yeah, Josh was all over that for you last week.
He was. I miss him here. How about that? See if that does it. All right. And thank you to Darren. We got a Facebook post saying somebody watching from Aruba today.
Oh.
So international.
We'll have to start charting all this and put little flags down on the map. Mary and I do a similar thing when we're walking and we're charting where airplanes come from. No, we actually don't do that. That'd be crazy. That'd be absolutely crazy. 21-7 in the first half. 8:34 to go. The officials are getting a drink of water this time. What are you finding over there? You got the...
Mark your calendars. The day of giving is
I am going to turn on YouTube.
25. We aim to raise $260.
There is 8 minutes and 34 seconds to go in the first half.
Your support is vital to the
I do apologize. We haven't been very good about letting people know how much time's left in the game today. And we'll try to do a little better with that. I'm going to turn on YouTube on my phone and try to catch any comments. Haven't done a good job with that either with you guys.
All right, well, Evan had a really nice job kicking the ball that first week against Kewanee. He was driving most of his kicks all the way back to the end zone. They were flying at least 15 yards in the air, or to the 15-yard line in the air. He didn't really quite get that leverage on those against Hall last week, and they were able to get good returns in field position. Newman's deep guys are right about the 15. So with the wind here, hopefully Evan can get one driven back there and not give them great field position. We're kicking from the right hash. Newman was doing the left hash in the same situation.
And they're going to just give a little pooch kick down about the 25-yard line, fielded cleanly, and going to bring it right back up the middle of the field. He's got some running room up to the 50-yard line. Evan's going to be able to bring him down and out of bounds. Good return by the Comets. That kickoff didn't go as planned for the Panthers.
Yeah, you work on different things about, do you want to drive it back there, and take the risk of them having a good return, and you try a little pooch kick. We had someone down right there at the 30-yard line where he caught that. If he makes that tackle, it works out being a great play. As it turns out, if you don't make that tackle, you don't have near as many defenders down there because over half of your guys are over here on this side of the field because we kicked from the right hash. So it's kind of a gamble that didn't work out.
8:32 to go here in the half. Ball inside Panther territory where Newman has kind of lived offensively in this first half. Two receivers split wide right for the Comets. Shotgun formation. Quarterback's going to keep the football, look to throw. Good pressure there, and able to complete the pass. Evan Steinley with first contact ball, going to get down to about the 32-yard line, brought down by a couple of Panthers, including Keegan.
Newman does a really good job with their play action. They faked it to the tailback, and he faked like he had it around the left side, and Derek Nosker chased him all the way down the line over there and thought that he had the ball. So they're doing a really nice job down there at the line of hiding who has it, and that gave the quarterback a lot of time to pull it back out and make that completion.
1st and 10 for the Comets, 32-yard line. Shotgun formation, a couple of backs in the backfield with them. Going to hand the ball off right up the middle, and pretty good gain for the Comet offense down inside the 25-yard line.
Evan Steinley was first one in there, but he kind of got drugged for about 5 yards. Derek Nosker was in there to finish him off. It's going to be about 2nd and 1 for Newman.
Panthers could use a huge defensive stop here, turn some momentum here going into halftime. A couple of backs in the backfield again, same formation as the last play. Going to hand the ball off, same play again. Evan misses a tackle, and Newman's going to get into the end zone with a 24-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, that was the same play. Evan had a chance to get right in there, and he ran right through his hands. No support there at the linebacker or secondary. Weren't able to get the stop. Going to make it an answer back for Newman. They're going to be going for their 4th PAT of this first half.
All right. 27-7 is your score. Get that corrected on the screen here. 7:15 to go here in the first half. Kick is up and no good.
Yeah, that did not come off the foot the same way. He had easy distance and height on his previous 3 kicks, so a little chink in the armor in the kicking game there. So 20-point deficit. Still plenty of time left, really. 7:15 in this first half. We can come down here and get a score. like we did on that last drive, we showed some great momentum on that last drive. Tristan Hovey with 3 carries over 12 yards. One got called back on the procedure, but still, that's what he had. And then, the long pass and catch to Gavin Adams. So we really showed we could move the ball in that last possession. We just need to do more of that because it looks like if we're going to win this game, it's going to have to be a shootout, giving up 27 points already.
Let's talk about something special going on with the girls golf. They have improved to 9-0 this year, and they had a really impressive match on Tuesday night where they won by 41 strokes. And
wow.
Izzy Johnston, medalist with a 43. And then on Wednesday, they had a triangular with Princeton and Mercer County at Wyattton Hills. They scored 195. Both the other two teams scored 214. Michelle Nosker with a 46 was the team medalist. Taylor Richmond and Sarah Carlson tied their PRs, each with a 51. So girls golf doing great. Continue that role. Got conference coming up this week, and just a couple weeks left in their season. So.
Boy, they've had great weather to golf in this year.
Sure,
I mean,
yeah.
Unseasonable for sure. They were out. The girls' team was out practicing before our men's night on Thursday, and they're just wearing shorts and T-shirts. And it is the middle of September. It could have been a lot colder. It's been great.
All right, Newman getting set to kick off. And there it is, and a short kick, fielded on the run at the inside the 20-yard line, and good pursuit by the Newman Comet punt return team or kickoff return team, and returned back up to about the 30-yard line, where the Panthers will take over 1st and 10.
Well, that was Noel Wetzel on the return, a sophomore. I believe that was his first time back there returning kicks. Did a nice job of just running straight forward on that. That was the first time that Newman hadn't kicked it straight down the left hash. So nice return for the sophomore. The tape is not working on this table at all.
Still think it was a good call to get set up here. I like the breeze. All right, 1st and 10 for your Panthers. 7:09 to go here. 27-7 your score. Steinley in motion left to right. Going to get set up in the slot. Keegan a fake pitch. Nice cut up the middle. And he's got a nice gain up to about the 40-yard line. Have a gain of about 9 on that play.
Yeah, I don't know if that play was designed for him to cut it inside. He probably has an option on either way on that. He fakes the pitch to the right, and then he could have bounced it out left. He decided to put his foot down and go straight up the field. Good decision because he got an 8-yard gain out of it. Bring up 2nd and 2 with 6:46 to go in the first half with the clock running. Newman's up 27-7.
See if maybe we try to go to Tristan again. He had a couple of big runs in that last possession. One receiver split each way. And Keegan Winkler's going to keep it again. And going to be right near the first down.
Depends on the spot. Neither official, certainly this sideline guy isn't willing to stick his head out and give us a good spot. It's going to be really close. They're waving the clock off so they can look at it.
Going to give them the signal that it's 3rd down. They're going to be, it looks like the nose of a football short.
Yeah, about the width of a hash. How wide are those hashes? 6 inches? I don't know. I ought to be able to convert on this one.
Ball spotted right at the 41-yard line of the Panthers. 6:07 to go here at the half.
I always say my favorite play on 3rd and short is a play-action pass, but how about we just get a first down with the run?
Keegan's going to go up under center here, and he's going to just take himself right up the middle, and he'll have enough for the first down. Going to pick up a couple on that play.
Yep, always good to answer a touchdown with at least a first down to get a little momentum and give the defense a rest, a chance to regroup. A lot of these guys are playing both ways anyway, but good first down. The clock's moving again. 5:50 to go in this half. A score on this drive was very much needed because Newman will have the ball to start the second half.
Tristan in the backfield with Keegan. They're going to hand it off to Tristan, and that time wrapped up quickly.
Yeah, he was met right at the hole. I think that was number 3. Yeah, I'll just
Youngerman.
George Youngerman. Yeah, I've never seen a program that lists all of the players by year that they're in school, not by first name or last name or by number. It makes it really tough to try and find a name quickly.
They're going to give him a gain of 1 on that play. 2nd and 9. Clock continuing to run under 5 minutes to go. Still inside Panther territory. Ball at the 44-yard line. 2 men in the slot. They're going to do an inside handoff to Gavin Adams. Haven't seen that yet. And sniffed out pretty well by the Newman defense. A gain of maybe 2 or 3 on that play.
Yeah, nice little kind of like an inside trap, but I didn't really see a lineman pulling on that. But you try and get the ball into your playmaker's hands, and Gavin Adams is one of those. Going to bring up 3rd and 5, maybe 6. I would assume if we can get anything manageable at all, this will be 4 down territory, and it might be anyway. Down 20 points.
Ball spotted at the 47-yard line. 3 receivers split out here to the left. Tristan in the backfield with Keegan. Looking to throw the football. Got a guy open and overthrows him and just about picked off.
Yeah, we had a bunch route here on the left side, and they were kind of crossing. They were a little tight in their formation there. There wasn't a lot of room to bring that pass in. Stops the clock exactly at 4 minutes to go in the half.
Graydon Church, the intended receiver there.
Yeah, he had Samley trying to run an out over here. He was covered. It was good coverage all around from Newman on that. We are going to punt, or at least showed that.
2 receivers, punt returners back for the Comets at about the 15, 16-yard line. And going to kick the ball away. And fielded and brought down nicely by number 20, Lane Decker.
Yeah, he did a good job of breaking down and not getting in the halo when the guy caught it, but then you have to then react, and because it's one of those things where you can't hit him early, so you want to be real defensive, and then as soon as he catches it, you got to be able to make the tackle. When he almost slipped out of his grasp, Lane Decker showed nice strength in his left arm there and holding on to him, spinning him around and holding him to no gain, which will give Newman the ball at their own 22 with 3:51 to go in the first half. Their worst field position to start a drive today.
And another water break for the players.
Yeah, we don't have any water up here. They were talking about Chicken George, and what else is down there on this in the spread?
I didn't get a chance to look.
There's like 4 different containers of stuff. We may have to venture down there at halftime if we're not doing any other duties. Hard to pass up Chicken George.
It is hard to pass that up. One other group to talk about, well, a couple more groups to talk about. Boys golf had a couple of matches this week. Back on Tuesday, they had Newman and Sherrard, and then on 9/11 on Thursday, they played at Chapel Hill, Princeton against Monmouth, and Monmouth Roseville. They placed second to Princeton by 5 shots. Gavin Van Dyke was the top EP golfer, finishing 3rd place with a 42. The Newman-Sherrard meet, I do know that we had a couple of medalists there that shot 42, but I don't remember those names. All right, action back up and going to get out to about the 27-yard line, so a gain of 5 on that play.
Yeah, the running back was able to get out of Caleb Reamer's hands and Tristan Hovey. And Gavin Adams were all involved on that play, but boy, a 6-yard gain for Newman on first down. 3:30, clock continues to run. They do have a long ways to go, so we can be in a bend, don't break philosophy right here.
Second and 5. Clock running at 3:12. Quarterback's going to keep it. He's going to throw it out here and overthrows his intended receiver in the flat. Good pressure there by Derek Nosker.
Yeah, he did a good job of not overdoing his pressure, too, because the quarterback was able to get rid of that quick, and Derek just gave him a little push, and the white hat was looking at him, going to throw the flag if he would have drove him to the ground. Glad he didn't. Does stop the clock, 3:08. You know, if we could get a stop here. They don't list the timeouts there. Have we called any timeouts?
We haven't. We got 3 timeouts left.
Yeah. Big down here then.
3rd and 5. That one back in the backfield with the quarterback. Going to throw the football. Got a man open here on the sideline, but overthrows him. 2 incompletions in a row for Bushman, which has been uncharacteristic of him today.
Yeah, that was they had just shown well-oiled machine in their first 4 possessions, and that one they just looked like they were ready for halftime and weren't ready to come out on this one. So really big break for EP here, 4th and 4. Everybody always gets scared if it's 4th and 4 because if you just jump, it's going to be an automatic first down. Everybody's got to hold their water, as they say.
Set the punt. First punt of the day for Newman. And they're going to fake punt it, and they got a man open. There's a first down. He's out in space. Connor Keegan and Gavin Adams on the run down to the 40-yard line. And big play for the Comets. Results in a first down.
Yeah, they ran that fake punt, and they had the wide side of the field to go to, and he just ran a little out there. There is a flag on the field. There's a chance there could be a block in the back at the reception. It was after the catch, and it was right there where he caught it. I think it's going to be against Newman, but I think it's going to be after the catch.
Now it's a legal procedure against Newman or a legal formation.
Okay.
So that'll repeat a 4th down. A big break for the Panthers.
Certainly is. 2:57 on the clock. Be more than likely they would be punting in this situation.
That'll back them up to a 4th and just about 10. 4th and 9.
Connor Keegan will be the lone setback to return.
So what a big break for the Panthers. What would have resulted in a 1st and 10 for the Comets. Oh, and Evan Steinley just about got to that one. And Connor Keegan opting not to catch that one, and it takes a big Newman bounce and is going to get all the way down to the 21-yard line.
Yeah, that was an interesting punt. Usually it's more of an end-over-end punt, and he kicked that. It looked just like a spiral. And I just think Connor was a little uneven because a spiral punt like that is almost like a knuckleball, and it's a little harder to catch because it doesn't have the tight spiral of a pass, but that's the way it had. And I think Connor was just a little bit nervous about it, decided to err on the side of caution and not catch it. Those end-over-end ones are a lot easier to catch. They just come right to a certain spot. And the result was a great bounce for Newman.
Unfortunately, Evan was about a yard away from being able to block that, and that would have been a huge play where I would have put the EP offense on the field in really good field position, but not able to do that. So another water break. I don't think there was a timeout called. I think it was just a water break. Give us an opportunity to talk about.
I remember them giving us water breaks back when we played.
Yeah, right. It was a different time.
Yep.
I got some information from Coach Green on the cross-country team. They had a meet today, which was at Detweiler Park in Peoria, the home of where the state meet is going to be this year. And the meet went well. Had 10 guys set PRs, and a couple of girls also set PRs. Boys placed 25th overall, 60-plus teams, 700 runners today. Girls placed 21st with 40-plus schools participating in 400 runners. Braden Punk was first for the guys with a PR of 16:44. And the biggest improvement for a PR today was Drake Anderson for the guys with a 3-minute improvement in personal record. Sarah Link was first for the girls with a time of 19:54, and that was about 30 seconds faster than her previous runs this year.
Great job by the cross-country runners.
All right, 1st and 10, 2:46 to go here in the half. And in motion is Max Milam. Poor snap. Oh, and it's going to get picked up. That's going to be bad news for the Panthers because the Newman Comets are going to pick up the second turnover of the day. Snap went right off of Keegan's leg and ricocheted over to the left defensive end where the Newman Comets fell on it.
Yeah, it's some of the same thing we saw last year on some of the snaps. The bad ones were low and off, around his knee or his shin area, and that's kind of where they've been today. That's about the 5th or 6th bad exchange they've had. Even the ones that he has been able to get, he's had to struggle with. So we really need to clean that up because you can't run an offense if you can't get going right off the snap.
1st and 10, comments from inside the Panther 20-yard line. And a poor pitch and a turnover after turnover. Tristan Hovey is going to pick that turnover up on a very odd turnover.
It was. He literally just it was like you tossed the ball to your 8-year-old. It was like a slow pitch toss, and the running back didn't even see it out there. Kind of unfortunate. You know, that's one we could have the ball bouncing gods in our favor for once. That could have just bounced straight up into Tristan's hands, and he'd have had nothing but green grass to run for 75 yards and a touchdown, but it didn't bounce right up to him, so he just had to cover it. But we got the ball back. 2:37 to go in the first half.
Interesting turn of events. And Panthers catching a break there. See if we can capitalize. 2 receivers split each way, wide side of the field to the right for the Panthers. In motion is Connor Keegan. Going to look to pass the football. And right down the middle of the field is the pass, and it's caught by Gavin Adams inside Panther territory. Another big gain, another big catch.
Did a really nice job with that pass and catch. Gavin a little shaken up. Maybe he's got a little sore rib still from that earlier kickoff return. Really nice pass in there by Keegan. He's throwing a really nice ball today. First down, 2:30 and clock running. EP's going to have to play with some tempo at their own or at the Newman 44-yard line.
About a 35-yard toss and catch. And inside Newman territory. 2:11, and of course in high school football, no 2-minute warning. Connor Johnson into the game. Evan and Connor in the slot. Another poor snap. And Tristan, I think, able to fall on this one.
Fumble on the play.
Yeah, Keegan tried to get it first, and it slipped out of his hand. Keegan, or Tristan, like you say, jumped over the pile. Was able to grab it. That'll keep the clock running. Well, we must have. It did stop for some reason.
Yeah, clock's running again. 1:50 to go here. They're going to give him a loss of 3 on that play. And going to need to shore up the center to quarterback exchange. It's deteriorating here. All right, going to pitch the ball out to Tristan. Going to try to get around the right end, and he does. It's got a nice pickup.
Going to keep the clock running on that. They're going to say the force of contact was inside. I thought he might have been going to get outside there and stop the clock, but they're going to keep it running.
Still not sure exactly how that is, because he was certainly still up when he went out of bounds.
Right, because he wasn't down.
Right.
You know.
And I thought I had that figured out in the NFL. If you're moving forward and move out of bounds, they're going to stop the clock. If you're moving backwards and you're out of bounds, they keep the clock running. I think that's how that goes.
Have you factored in you're getting $50 a game, it's on a Saturday afternoon, and it's hot out and almost halftime?
Have not. All right, 54 seconds. There's the snap. It's a good one. Going to look to throw the football, get pressure, and overthrows his intended receiver. Evan Steinley batted down and incomplete.
Yeah, I think that pass was going to be a little behind Evan as it was, and he had also Graydon Church out on that route.
4th and 7 upcoming for the Panthers. 45 seconds to go here.
Yeah, originally we were thinking we need to play with some tempo, but now we want to make sure the clock keeps running and give Newman as little time as possible if we don't convert on this 4th down.
Of course, the clock stopped with that incomplete pass. Offense staying on the field. Going to go for it. Down 20 points. Empty backfield for the Panthers. 3 receivers split left. Keegan looking to throw the football. Got a man open. I think he's going to have a catch and pass the first down marker.
He's going to be really close on the spot. Looks like that's what they're going to give him.
Yep, they're going to give him a first down. Nice catch there. I think that's Evan Steinley with the reception there on that far sideline.
Boy, Keegan really threaded that one in there. And that was actually a good snap back, but he kind of lost it while he was fiddling for the laces on it. We don't have timeout. We've used 1, haven't we? So we probably have 2 timeouts left.
I don't think we've used any timeouts. I think they've all been water breaks. I think we've got all 3 here. So ball spotted at the 33-yard line.
You can pick it up at the concession.
Still have time, especially with some vertical strike opportunities that we have with Adam Adams, Connor Keegan. Good snap there. looking to throw the football, going to get flushed out of the pocket. Keegan going to turn it up the field, going to get it up to about the 30-yard line. And very quickly, Coach Whitebread's going to call a timeout with 29 seconds to go here in the first half.
Yeah, we had all the receivers were running pretty long routes on that play. Need to have someone coming underneath to give a little relief there for Keegan, because he was kind of scrambling out of the pressure, and so he wasn't able to get the ball off. But then I guess the only advantage of running everybody deep is it gives the quarterback more room to run.
Keegan got flushed out of the pocket, and then good pursuit by the Newman defense there, and had a gain of 3 on that play, 2 on that play, but more importantly, we're forced to stop the clock. So coming up at halftime, we'll run some ads from sponsors, and then it is halftime here, so we'll have just a little bit of an extended halftime for
homecoming.
Excuse me, what did I say?
You said it's halftime, so halftime. That's fine.
Is it?
Yeah, you're really infected. It's halftime coming up.
I think the heat on this rooftop might be getting to me. Yes, it is homecoming here at Newman, and a little bit earlier than most homecomings.
Yeah.
But unlike when I played football, and I played in 9 different homecomings that year, so it didn't matter if it was week 1 or week 9.
Right.
Everybody wanted to play Erie for homecoming. I don't understand it, but yeah, a little early for homecoming. But so we'll have a little bit longer break, and but we'll keep it right here. We're gonna learn from last week's issue. If you tried to re-watch YouTube broadcast after the game, you might have noticed that we got blocked for a little while by YouTube. They've got some very specific rules, and so for copyright reasons, they were picking up music off of our camera, and so shut us down for a little while until we got that fixed. All right, here we go. Keegan back to throw the football, trying to air one out, and overthrows his intended receiver. Connor Keegan covered well there.
Yeah, I'll be interested to know if just the music that we're hearing during the timeout is going to trigger a YouTube violation. So hopefully not. Hopefully we can work around that. But at least we're able to get that back up for the fans that want to watch it on Saturday.
And as a reminder, a programming reminder, we are keeping the games up for a day. So tomorrow, I'm not sure what the plans are since we're playing a Saturday afternoon game. We'll give it a little bit more time maybe. But the intent is to keep the game up for about 24 hours or so, and then we'll take the game down so that teams can't come out and grab it for game film. All right, third down for the Panthers. Shotgun formation, 3 receivers here to the left, and going to bring a blitz. And Keegan going to get flushed out of the pocket. Got good room. Going to try to throw the football deep into the end zone. Gavin Adams is the intended receiver, and a nice catch and a touchdown. And what a great play by Gavin Adams in his second touchdown reception of the day.
That was just, he did a good job of, Keegan, first of all, did a great job of avoiding the pressure on the blitz like you mentioned. And then when he was scrambling, Gavin was able to adjust his route and go to the corner of the end zone. He almost got a little push in the back. I thought there might have been pass interference. And I think it's got to be tough for the official because it's really hard to tell exactly where the actual out of bounds is there because the end zone color goes all the way to the outside.
Right.
But he was able to catch that inside of the sideline for a great touchdown reception.
Yeah, great play by Gavin Adams there. Hope that was a little better for you, Steve. And extra point forthcoming. 13 seconds to go here in the first half. Panthers cut it to 2 scores. And that kick is up and good. 27-14 is your score. And I'll get this score updated here. And what a great answer right before halftime to close the gap to 2 scores.
Yeah, I mean, it started, when we didn't field the punt, and then they had, we had field position down here, and then fumbled the first play. They could have gone in to make it, 35-7. They fumbled on their first possession, and we took it the length of the field. That was about a 70-yard drive. Great job by the Panthers to answer. Not really an answer. Great job to take advantage of the Newman fumble and capitalize on that and make this a game. Bring it back to a 2-score game. This would just be our second kickoff. We tried the little pooch kick last time. The execution of it was pretty good on the kicking part. We just didn't wrap up very well. Usually when we're doing that, we fear that their returners have great speed and the ability to break one. So I doubt much has changed on that. I would be shocked if we would kick it deep again.
breeze is feeling almost like it's coming across the field
like
at
it's
us.
Shifted a little bit. I agree.
The flag's really not blowing. And with 13 seconds to go, Evan kicks the ball, and it's gonna go out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. I don't know that that's necessarily a bad thing. The Comets will pick the ball up at the 35-yard line. I'll have it 1st and 10 with 13 seconds, no time off the clock.
Right. You don't give up the risk of a big return, and I have no problem with that play at all. It's too bad the Bears didn't do that on Monday night.
Would have given them an extra time out there at the 2-minute warning had they done that.
Well,
I thought those coaching snafus were behind them with this new coach, but were evident again Monday night. The Comets are going to opt to have EP re-kick it from their 35-yard line. So here we go again. And Evan's going to try the same thing, and this one's going to stay in bounds, get picked up at the 22-yard line, right up the sideline, and a good return, and met at about the 48-yard line where the Comets will take over.
Boy, that was a really nice kick by Evan. He wasn't afraid to put it right down the sideline like he just did. Took a good bounce to stay in bounds. Decent return for Newman, but it took up enough time. They're only going to have time for one play. So watch for trickery, the old hook and ladder, or a double reverse.
I'm guessing that Coach Whitebread, as a defensive coordinator, is going to put a prevent defense in here and try to stay away from that end of the half score. Although it does look like a standard defensive set. Three receivers split right here on this right side, one to the left. Bushman in the shotgun. And he's going to air it out to the left. He's got a man open. And ball falls incomplete with a half a second left on the clock. I wasn't watching the clock to see if they got a little bit of a break there.
No, he got it stopped right on that because I actually thought there was 0.6, so he did a good job. Quarterback threw it from about the 40 to the 20, so it was about a 40-yard throw. Looks about like his max distance. So it won't be like watching an NFL game where they just throw it in the end zone for a jump ball. This will have to be a catch and some sort of run from this sort of length. Ball's placed at their own 48.
And barring a defensive penalty here, this will be the last play of the half. Three receivers split right. Going to put a man in motion left to right. And they're going to hand it off to him. Going to come around this right end, try to make something happen. And that's going to bring the first half to an end as Max Milam tackles him at about the 46-yard line. First half comes to a conclusion on a good note. Panthers able to score on their last possession. Halftime score 27-14. And Panthers going to go in, make some adjustments, come out and start the ball on defense. And we'll see what the second half brings. We're going to go to break. We'll get you some halftime stats. We're going to play some ads. We'll be back. I'm not sure. There's not time on the clock yet, but just be watching. We'll come back here in probably 15 minutes or so and bring you second half live action.
At Country Financial in Prophetstown, Illinois, we know life comes with risk. That's why we're here to help you protect what matters most. Whether it's home, auto, life, or business insurance, we've got the coverage you need and the local service you can trust. Planning for the future? Our team is here to help with financial planning and retirement solutions tailored to you. Visit Country Financial in Prophetstown or give us a call today. Country Financial, growing your future, protecting what matters.
Looking for a bank that puts you first? At Erie State Bank, we've been proudly serving our community with personalized service and a hometown touch. Whether it's checking, savings, loans, or mortgages, we're here to help you reach your financial goals. Bank local, bank smart, with online banking, mobile apps, and friendly faces ready to assist. Erie State Bank is always here for you. Visit Erie State Bank today in Erie, Illinois, and experience banking built on trust and community.
Are you feeling overwhelmed? You're not alone. Join the Gray Matters Collective, where mental health matters. With local chapters and collective coffee conversations, we're here to support you. Connect with us on Facebook at the Gray Matters Collective and be part of the community that cares. The Gray Matters Collective, because your mental health matters.
Looking for fresh, homemade treats? Visit Harvest Bakery and More in Erie, Illinois. From warm, buttery croissants to mouth-watering pies and cakes, we've got something for everyone. Need a special order for an event? We've got you covered with custom cakes and pastries that are sure to impress. Stop by today at Harvest Bakery and More on Main Street in Erie and taste the difference. Fresh, local, and made with love. Harvest Bakery and More, where every bite is a treat.
Attention all area foster and adoptive families. My name is Tiffany Garsha, and I am the founder and president of Raising Hope. Raising Hope is a nonprofit foster care closet located in Erie, Illinois, serving Whiteside, Lee, Ogle, Joe Davies, Rock Island, and Carroll counties. We reach out to area foster and adoptive families and provide emergency placement overnight bags, toiletries, clothing, diapering essentials, and more at no cost. If you ever need help with a new placement coming into your home, please reach out. Also, stay tuned for many of our upcoming events. Each summer, we sponsor a free carnival for children. During our fall time, we have a movie night. And then we also have a special angel tree around Christmas time. You can find us on Facebook at Raising Hope Erie, or you can reach out to us via email at raisinghopeerie@gmail.com. Thank you.
Panther fans, it's time to gear up and show your Panther pride. 5 Mile Creations is your hometown shop for custom EP fan gear and more. From single shirts to full team orders, 5 Mile will design and create apparel for any event. Individuals, businesses, teams, we do it all. Visit 5milecreations.com today and we'll turn your idea into reality. Go Panthers!
All right, we're back here live. Sorry for coming back so late, but there's been music playing on the loudspeakers, and we know that because of YouTube infringement rights that we would be blocked if that was being played over our broadcast. And so we opted to stay off the air and avoid that situation. So we are back, and we're just getting ready to start third quarter action. The Panthers will be kicking off to Newman to start the third quarter, and we'll get some first half stats in as the Newman offense comes onto the field. 27-14 is your score to start this third quarter, and this first kick is going to go short to the 32-yard line, picked up cleanly, and up to about the 48-yard line, and hip toss to the ground as the Newman Comet receiver. And the Panther defense take the field.
We certainly must have seen something in the game film about their return ability, because we have definitely, that is our plan on the kickoff, is to do that short kick to the right-hand side, Newman's left side. Had a nice little lunch spread there from the Candlelight. Got some Chicken George and all the fixins, the onion rings and mushrooms. That was nice.
I missed the mushrooms.
Oh.
48-yard line is where the Comets will take over. They've had pretty good starting field position most of the afternoon. Panthers hopefully can get a good stop here early. Wishbone offense for the Comets coming out to start third quarter. And they're going to hand the ball off to the right side, and Power Football going to pick up about 7 on that play.
Yeah, we haven't seen that formation completely like that, except maybe one time down at the goal line where they were double tight and Wishbone. And that's, you expect that a lot out of Newman, and with them nursing a 2-touchdown lead, they would like to grind the ball and run it down the field. I'll try and get you some stats in between the next play here. How's that?
Second and short for the Comets. Just underway here in the third quarter. Same formation, Wishbone for the Comets. May see a heavy dose of that here in the second half. Going to hand the ball off the first guy through. He's going to be up past first down marker. And quickly on the move are the Comets into Panther territory.
Tripped up there at the line of scrimmage. First half stats, we got Keegan Winkler. He was 7 for 13 for 152 yards passing and 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. He also had 26 yards rushing on 14 carries. Tristan Hovey had 36 yards on 6 carries. Bulk of those 36 yards on 2 nice runs on that scoring drive.
Yeah, we'll have to see if we can get Tristan a little bit more involved in the offense. I think he was a pretty big start there. And it looks like the left side of the Newman offense, left guard, left tackle, got going just a little bit early. They're going to back him up 5 yards.
Newman moved the ball fairly efficiently, too. Their quarterback had 5 completions for 82 yards. And, you know, we gave them a very short field for 2 of their scores. So they had less than 100 yards rushing. So it's kind of an interesting first half. You know, we fell down 2 scores immediately, and it feels like a much closer game that we've played since then, getting up the 2 touchdowns in the second quarter.
There's the pitch, going to go off left tackle. He's got some running room, and finally brought down after a gain of about 5 on that play.
Yeah, a host of Panthers in on that stop. Keegan Winkler tried to rip the ball out of his hands. It'd be nice to be able to force a fumble. That was very advantageous for EP when Newman had their fumble. We were able to go down to 70 yards and score on the late in that first half. Bring up second and about 5. What are you working on there?
I'm trying to get us back to 3 timeouts. There it is. And they're going to pitch the ball, go off left tackle. I think there might have been a little bit of a miss. Well, it was either misdirection or the one tailback went the wrong direction.
It quite likely could have been a design play, because defenses, linebackers, sometimes they read the guards and sometimes they read the near running back on their side. And if you're reading the near running back and he goes that way, you get what's called a false read, and the linebacker won't be there for pursuit. So I've seen Newman do that in the past. 3rd and 1, ball spotted on the 31-yard line of Newman. Continuing in that Wishbone offense, 9:07 to go here in the third quarter. And they're going to give it to the second back through. Met pretty quickly, but I think he's going to have enough for the first down. If we're looking at that far judge correctly, he's going to be marking it right at the 30. Yeah, he's going to pay for that one. He got hit by Nosker and Reamer, but going to be a first down, but he really had to earn that one. Right at the 30-yard line, 8:50 to go in this third quarter. Clock's moving.
we get a little bit of time here, maybe we'll move this down a little bit, give our cameraman a little bit more shade. Starting to move out of it a little bit. 1st and 10. Going to look to throw the football. Got a man open on this left side, or right side, and Connor Keegan with the good defense, but the pass is caught. Going to get brought down at about the 22-yard line.
Yeah, he was trying to stay behind the defender. He read that all the way, and the pass hung up long enough. Earlier in the season, he jumped those routes and got in front of it and got a couple interceptions, but wasn't able to do that on this play. Just was able to make the tackle. Nice 8-yard pass and catch for Newman on 1st down. Bring up 2nd and 2 with 8 minutes to go and clock running in the 3rd quarter.
Newman spent a lot of time today in Panther territory. Hand the ball off, 2nd back through. It's a nice little shifty run there. And pick up enough for the 1st down.
Yeah, 2 different EP defenders, Caleb Nosker clear over here, or Derek Nosker clear over here, and then I didn't see who the other one was there. Were really tied up with the Newman defenders, blockers. They're really occupying in them and weren't able to get off the blocks. Resulted in a big hole and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line. 7:27 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Clock ticking. Another ball off the left tackle, met pretty quickly by the defensive line. Met by 3 guys there, including big number 75, Caleb Reamer.
Max Milam was in there trying to rip the ball away. Good gang tackling there. Wouldn't be surprised if Newman puts the ball in the air here in one of these next 2 possessions, or next 2 downs, excuse me.
They're going to give him a gain of 1 on that down to the 21-yard line. Ball placed just about in the middle of the football field. 6:50 to go in the quarter. Kind of a throwing set, at least what we've seen so far. And they're going to hand it off, and he's got a lot of running room. He's got a man to beat, and he's going to get into the end zone. The 21-yard run for the Newman Comets.
Yeah, they got right through the right side on their offense. Left side of our defense, weren't able to get off those blocks. Nice run for the Comets on that. They did not have to pass, as a matter of fact, to get that score. Moved it up to 33-14 with 6:31 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Panthers, after striking right before half and catching a little momentum, is hoping to stifle the Newman Comet offense coming out in the 3rd quarter. Not able to do that. The attempt for the point after is up, and that's going to be wide left. 33-14 is your score.
Yeah, that Gutierrez looked like he was automatic on the first 3 PATs, but he hasn't been able to convert quite as efficiently since then. Newman had kicked it off there. They put it on the left hash, and they've been kicking it basically between the left hash and the sideline for most of their touchdowns. The last one, they kicked it down the middle of the field. So we did move our return guys around trying to get who we wanted in there. Try and get that return. Be interesting to see how Newman comes out on this one. 6:30 to go in the 3rd quarter. If we want to get back in this game, it's going to be a shootout. We're going to have to start scoring more than just once a quarter.
Appreciate you all listening in today on a hot September afternoon. Looks like we got quite a few of you. If you have the ability, let us know where you're calling in from. I know it's going to be hard to beat somebody from Aruba, but got some distance listeners today. We'd love to hear from where you're listening in from.
They are going to go with the left hash again, as they have in the previous 5 kicks.
Gavin Adams with the 2 receptions for both of our scores today. See if our Panther offense can get things rolling, keep things rolling here in the 3rd quarter. And here's the kickoff, and it's a good one. Going to get fielded about 10-yard line. And that looks like Max, doesn't it?
That's what I was thinking. There was a 4 on that. I don't know who else it could have been. Yes, it was Max Milam. I didn't get all of the stats in. I didn't get the receiving ones there. We had Gavin Adams with 3 receptions and 110 yards and 2 touchdowns. Evan Steinley with 2 catches for 20 yards. Graydon Church had 1 catch for 14, and Connor Johnson had 1 for 8 to account for the 152 yards through the air that Keegan had.
Max able to return that ball up to the 29-yard line where your Panthers will have it 1st and 10. 6:25 to go here in the third quarter.
Clark Martins is listening from Little River, South Carolina. How's it going, Clark? Saw you with Coach Bielema last week. That was a nice picture of you and Chris Earl.
Man in motion. Keegan's going to keep this himself, go up the middle, duck under would-be tackler. Going to have a nice first down gain of, looks like 5 on that play.
The little Keegan Winkler slide that you were talking about there in effect again. Nice 5-yard gain. Little low snap. I don't think that was a busted play. I think that was the normal little fake to the pitch out and then run up the middle. That's part of our offense.
Second down. Tristan in the backfield with Keegan and a couple men in the slot. 3 receivers to the left. And going to run the option. Keegan's going to keep it himself and going to pick up a couple on this play. Going to bring up a 3rd and short.
Yeah, it looked like the play was designed as an option with Tristan Hovey on the left side, and Keegan didn't want to make that pitch and decided to try and turn it up himself. It's a good call. Going to bring 3rd and about 1. Down 19 here, 3 scores, 33-14 with 5:21 to go. We need to get this first down.
3rd and very short, 3rd and 1. Tristan in the backfield. Keegan's going to keep it himself. He's going to be up near the first down marker. Looks like he'll have it up to about the 40-yard line, and that'll move the chains.
Yep, nice job by the Panthers getting that first down, moving it down the field. Ball's at about the 40. Hopefully we can get Tristan Hovey going now. He had those 6 carries for 36 yards in the first half. See if we can get him active. I'll tell you what, I told you before we didn't need this tent, but I'm really glad you took the effort to bring it and go back to the truck and put it up because it is much cooler in the shade.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Panthers at their own 40-yard line. Shotgun as usual, looking to throw the football. Got good protection, going to get flushed out now. Going to keep it himself, going to try to break down a would-be tackler, and nice job, and up past the first down marker and midfield is Keegan, and out of bounds.
Yeah, that was a really nice scramble by Keegan. Gavin Adams was out there on the right side running a deep in, and the linebacker had coverage, and so Keegan just decided to keep it, and the linebacker had to stay on the receiver for a little bit of time, and that gave Keegan enough room to scamper around the right side and get a first down. Looks like they're going to have an automatic clock stoppage for water with 4:15 to go in the third quarter.
How about another EP fall sport update?
Sure.
Boys golf had the Kewanee Boiler invite today, 23 teams, and the boys finished 10th. And they finished with a score of 352, which was, looks like 11 shots out of the next place, which would have been 9th. Low man for the day was Grayson Johnston, a freshman, having a good year. Shot 86. Had 3 guys shoot under 90 today. Sawyer Copeland with an 87 and Gavin Van Dyke with an 89. So good job with the Panthers finishing in the top half of the Kewanee invite today.
Maybe we'll have a round of golf in our afternoon future.
I hope that's the case. What do we have upcoming? Volleyball has a really kind of a slow week this week. I just have them down for 1 match coming up on Tuesday at Mendota. Boys golf, I just mentioned at Baker Park today for the Kewanee invite. They've got a couple of matches this week. Monday they're hosting Rock Ridge, and then Thursday they'll be at Riverdale. Always a tough match when you're playing Riverdale. And then girls have a pretty heavy week ahead of them. They're at Stillman Valley invite today. Haven't heard anything on an update from them. And then Monday they're hosting BV, St. Bede, and Newman. And then Wednesday they have conference at Byron Hills. So good luck to all of those teams this week.
Yeah, this is an extended break. Looked like actually working on Caleb Reamer across the field a little bit more than just a water break, but he hops up. Looks like he's fine. I will say I'm a little concerned about our broadcast with the music playing in the background. These mics, if they pick it up, we may not be able to keep this broadcast on. We'll just have to see. So if you know of anybody who wants to try and watch it, let them know that if it's not up, that's why they can't rewatch it. A really nice sound system here. And we have a new one at Erie, and we're playing our first home game next week at Erie. You'll get to hear all of Coach Orman's.
Are we? Is that the word?
Yeah, it's supposed to be ready.
Okay, I hadn't heard for sure, so you heard it here first. We'll get final confirmation. All right, Keegan Winkler is going to take this ball right up the middle and get hit pretty hard after a gain of just a couple.
Yeah, he had moved it down the field pretty good on the last drive. Only 2 yards on that first down. He got hit right at the line of scrimmage. Yeah, the word is Tim Posley talked to the guy that was doing all the work there on the bleachers, and he said, no problem, it'll be done by next week. It is a new sound system from last year. It's already been tested out. Mr. Orman's going to be going deep in his playlist.
2nd and 8 upcoming for the Panthers inside Comet territory. And if we're going to make a run at this ball game with 3:35 to go here in the third quarter, this is a drive that we're really going to need to score on. A couple of receivers split to the right. Going to hand the ball off to Tristan, going to go off left guard, and picks up a couple on that play as well. Maybe
yeah,
three.
About 3. Going to bring up 3rd and 5. Like you say, this is probably we really need to score, so I would have got to be in 4-down territory here. 3rd and 5. We haven't tried any hard counts this game. We haven't seen that at all. Wouldn't be a worse time to get the free first down, but like we mentioned last week, we do have a lot of our formations where we send somebody in motion, and you just really can't do a hard count if you're doing that. Clock running under 3 here in the third quarter.
All right, back to throw the football is Keegan, and that ball nose down, got away from Keegan a little bit, and underthrows Connor Johnson. And have I got some news for you?
All right.
This is not once in a lifetime for a lot of people, but never happens for some of us in this lifetime. Michelle Nosker on the girls golf team today had a hole-in-one on number 4 at Prairie View Golf Course in Byron.
Awesome.
How cool is that?
Yeah. She have to buy Mountain Dews for everybody in the clubhouse afterwards. Wow, what a great accomplishment.
Oh, that is awesome.
I'd love to have one of those someday.
All right, Keegan back to throw the football again. Go throw it out here in the flat to Tristan. And going to get a few yards on that play. Going to come up short on that 4th and 6, and that's going to be a turnover on downs.
Yeah, we had 3 receivers split to the left side, and they all just kind of ran go routes. And unfortunately, they read that underneath pass really well and were able to turn and rally to the ball and stop him short of a first down. What you're hoping on that is they all are just running with their backs to the quarterback, trying to keep up with the receivers, and then you dump it off to Tristan, and he'd only have one linebacker to try and outmaneuver. But they saw the pass behind them and were able to rally right away.
So that'll be a turnover of downs and another water break upcoming for the guys on the field. And just to kind of piggyback, what I love about what's going on here is things are building, getting word from a bunch of different people. So thank you to somebody that just sent me, Chad Keegan just sent us information on the girls' side. The girls finished 3rd today in their invite, shooting a 402. Winning score for that tournament was by Rockford Lutheran at a 369. That's a phenomenal score. Byron finished 2nd at 384. And low girls score today for Erie is Bailey Snowden, a sophomore, shot a 96. Michelle Nosker and coming in behind her, and Ava DeGraw finishing with the 3rd lowest score on the girls team today. So again, great job been a really solid season so far for the girls. Keep that up, and congratulations once again to Michelle Nosker for her hole-in-one. I'm jealous. Never had one.
No, I've been close, probably 4 to 5 inches away, but might as well be a mile.
All right, Newman's taking over 40-yard line of in their own territory, shotgun formation, and they're going to hand the football off right up the middle. And good job by John Holland. Haven't heard his name called out today, but nose guard for the Panthers going to stop him for just a short gain.
Yeah, he was right in there along with Derek Nosker. Caleb Reamer kind of ran upfield, made him cut it in. So good stop on first down. Really going to need to force them to punt. 2:10 to go in this third quarter. Newman just wants to keep the clock moving with this 3-score lead.
A couple of receivers split out wide left for Newman. And quarterback's going to keep it and look to throw the football. Got a man. Nice job by Connor Johnson there, knocking the football away.
Yeah, we had him on both sides of that. Derek Nosker almost got the quarterback for a sack, forced the pass, and Johnson was in there, put the lick on him as soon as he was able to touch it. I don't know if I did my math right there, Scott. How many points are we down?
Well, let's see. We get our shoes off and start doing this counting. But 24, 30. We're down 19.
Okay.
So
it is 3 scores.
Third and 9. And the Panthers in need of a stop here. Going to go up under center are the Comets. And going to throw the football and got pressure up the middle. And Jordan Crow with a sack and a big one.
Yeah, he got in there. I tell you what, the quarterback did a really good job of hanging onto the ball because Jordan kind of grabbed him right on his arm that had the quarterback, spun him around. Really nice stop by the Panthers on that. So this is just their second punting time to punt for Newman. Hopefully, is that Connor Keegan back there? He'll be able to field this punt.
Connor standing back at his own 28-yard line. Breeze picking up a little bit. This is not as good a kick, and a fair catch called for by Connor. Yeah. Boy, a lot of that stuff going on. And caught cleanly, and your Panthers are going to take over 1st and 10.
Yeah, you could kind of see on that punt it was a little bit more of an end-over one, and he was able to settle under it. Nice job by Connor because that last one gave them about an extra 15 yards on the bounce.
1:05 to go here in the third quarter. Panthers needing to get on the board here within the next possession or two if we're going to make a run at this in the fourth quarter, down 33-14.
They must have decided to up the water timeout or breaks after every change of possession because that's what they've been doing in the second half. It wasn't that way in the first half for sure. Maybe the coaches thought the kids were really going to be getting dehydrated at halftime and asked for a little bit more time.
All right, guys coming back onto the field. Reminder again that Street Fest is going on in Erie today. After finishing up listening to this broadcast and hopefully come from behind victory by your Panthers, head on up and check it out. Got activities going on all afternoon and into the evening tonight.
Got to put you in the dunk tank next year. They'll be lining up around the block.
I would do that for a cause. All right, Keegan in the backfield with Tristan. Got a couple guys in the slot left. Lone receiver out right. Max in motion left to right. Snaps have been much better in the second half. Going to try this inside handoff to Gavin Adams again, and we got a flag on the play. Big gain down inside Comet territory, and I think this one's going to come back again.
Yeah, it's the same flag that they threw in the first half. Some sort of alignment. Well, there's a flag on both sides of the field. Maybe we didn't have 7 guys on the line of scrimmage. Kind of that little counter trap play that they ran in the first half.
And that goes against the Panthers, and that'll negate a big run by Gavin Adams. I do like how we're trying to get Gavin more into the offense.
Yeah, you got to find a way to get a guy that athletic the ball any way you can. You know, he's got the 2 touchdown receptions, but you get him some action there running the ball, and good things will happen. He was very athletic. He's having a nice season.
1st and 15 for the Panthers. Ball at the 27-yard line. Excuse me, a 32-yard line. 42 seconds to go here. Clock running. A couple guys in the backfield with Keegan. Going to throw the football. Going to roll out right, throw right, and that ball's picked off. Underthrown or overthrown. I'm not sure which receiver was the intended.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was underthrown. Looked like he was trying to hit Evan Steinley on that deeper out, and the ball just kind of hung up, and he wasn't able to put enough on it. It's one of those where you got to throw it over the linebacker and underneath the safety, and wasn't able to find that sweet spot. I think the pass, I mean, judging by what it feels right here, was a little bit into the wind. Maybe that caused it.
After doing a really good job of taking care of the football in weeks 1 and 2, the Panthers have 3 turnovers today, a lost fumble and 2 interceptions. And once again, the Comets will take over inside Panther territory at the 35-yard line. 28 seconds to go here in the third. Panthers trailing by 3 scores.
EP was getting some water. It almost like they did decide that they were going to do water after every change of possession, but with only 28 seconds in the quarter, if they had to be able to just finish it off and get a drink here after a couple plays. Newman didn't opt to take any water, so short break there.
Comets offense to the line. Clock won't start until the ball snapped. One back in the backfield with the Newman quarterback, Bushman. Man in motion from right to left. And they're going to throw the football, going to throw left, and got a man open. It's caught, and he avoids a tackle, and it's a race to the corner of the end zone, and he's going to get in for the score.
Yeah,
touchdown Comets.
Yeah, they brought him out there in motion, and he got set on the far outside and just ran a deep cut in. Kind of a nice pass on that one, right over top of the defender, and a great run after the catch, unfortunately.
And it does appear that receiver is down and hurt in the end zone. I think he's trying to get himself up now. It's number 3.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened there. The officials looked like they were motioning for the trainer to come out, but he seems to be up okay. Did you see if he did anything when he went in there?
He didn't. Just dove in head first. That was George Youngerman. Sorry. (39-14) is your score. And Newman creating some space that's going to make it difficult for your Panthers to make a run here in the fourth.
Yeah, we may end up seeing a delay of game penalty here. I don't think Newman's going to get this PAT attempted before the time runs out. We'll have to see.
It'll depend if they allow that injury
right
to stop the play clock.
Yeah, because I just heard the whistle just go, so I think they got plenty of time.
So they're going to go for 2 here. There's a direct snap, and he's going to cut it up. And it looks like he's into the end zone. 2-point conversion is good.
Yeah, they had a big cluster formation on the right-hand side. They basically looked like they moved the whole wishbone right over there between the right guard, or right tackle and right end, and quarterback just took the direct snap and followed them right into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. 41-14. We didn't get out of the third quarter.
Panthers not putting on the showing today that we were hoping for. Both teams coming in today 2-0. Panthers looking strong. I would say strong in the first 2 weeks. Last week against Hall, maybe not quite as what we expected. We were expecting Hall to be down, and
yeah, next week that home game we'll have Rock Ridge. We were talking about they're 3-0. They beat Sherrard week 1 45-0. Then they beat Princeton 36-29. Then they beat Riverdale, who's got a good team this year, 49-21. So not an easy part of the schedule for the Panthers right here, going against the undefeated Comets and then the undefeated Rock Ridge Rockets next week. And then we'll go to Mercer County, which will be a must-win if we're going to have playoff hopes.
Again, with IHSA football, we need 5 wins in the conference we play in. That'll get us playoff eligible. Certainly doable with the schedule we have left. We're going to have to play well on the stretch.
Got to win the ones that we're favored in, or at least a coin toss.
And there's the kick. Going to get caught at about the 20-yard line. Going to try to get up the right side of the field and makes it up just past the 30-yard line.
Yeah, I think that was Noah Wetzel again on that return.
Noah getting a couple of touches today.
Yeah, he does a really nice job of catching that and just going straight forward. Sophomore, 5'7", 150 pounds. Do you know what the Fresh Soft's record is off the top of your head?
They're undefeated going in. They're 2-0. And I did get that information from Mr. Foster, Coach Foster, who's the Fresh Soft coach. See if I can find that. Shotgun formation for the Panthers. Keegan's going to keep it himself, run it straight up the field, and like we've done pretty well on first down all day, pickup of about 4.
Yeah, he had a nice gain there. 4. Well, our first down, if you look at the micro stats and see what we are for each down, first down hasn't really been the problem. And that will be the last play of the third quarter as the alarm sounds, or the siren, whatever it is. 41-14. They'll flip sides of the field. They get another drink of water. Yeah, it seems like they're staying plenty hydrated in this half.
Yeah, I apologize for not keeping up with the Fresh Soft schedule. We're talking about the other fall sports, but neglected to talk about the Fresh Soft. They're 2-0. They beat Kewanee in week 1, 46-6. And then last week, let me scroll down here. They took care of Hall 26-2. So they started off just a little sluggish in the first quarter, gave up an early safety. Then the second quarter, things really started to turn around. Sophomore Lane Decker had a huge 100-yard pick 6 that really turned the game around. Defense had a big stop. They were able to march down the field and score on a 10-yard run by Caleb Brown. Caleb then followed that up with another interception, and QB Justin Pearson connected with Brown on the next play for a touchdown pass to put him up 20-2 at half, and then cruised easily in the second half. James Lopez also with a 24-yard touchdown run in the second half. Guys are showing a lot of resilience, and he's been really impressed with the way that sophomore squad has come together really early in the season.
All right, fourth quarter about ready to start. We are 41-14. Newman is in the lead. 12 minutes to go in this game. EP's going to start the fourth quarter here. It would be 2nd and 6 from their own 35. I don't know why the ball hasn't been put in play yet, but finally it has.
And the only other sport we haven't talked about is JFL. JFL playing today in Prophetstown. Both teams won last week. And I do know the 7th graders were up really big in the first quarter today as I left that field. All right, Keegan going to pitch the ball out to Tristan, and he's going to have a very short gain on second down there.
Yeah, not a whole lot there. Keegan did a nice job on that pitch. He's I think that might be the first time he's actually pitched it on the option today. So it's nice to see him able to make that connection. Had a play similar to that in the first quarter when he was covered and the pitch guy was covered, which you don't see very often. They don't list the heights and weights of Newman in their program, but they've got some good-sized athletes down there on the line, on the defensive line for sure.
Third down and 5 for your Panthers. 2 receivers right, 3 to the left, 1 in the slot. Keegan in the backfield all by himself. Good snap and good pressure. Keegan going to throw the ball out here to the right side to the 40-yard line. It's going to be short by a yard, but caught by Gavin Adams.
Great job of scrambling by Keegan there, and Gavin with a great job coming back for the ball. Caleb Reamer was peeling back trying to block the defender who was putting good pressure on him. And I didn't see the other one. They both kind of made contact with him, close to a push in the back, but the official kept his hand out of his pocket on that. Didn't look like they really affected the play. They kind of were more just shielding them. So really nice. I really like the way Keegan has looked today throwing the ball. And Gavin's been, presenting himself open a lot as a receiver.
4th down and short, and the Panthers are looking to punt the football away. A little bit of a high snap, able to get it, and he's going to kick it away. A low line drive, going to get fielded about 27-yard line. Got an opportunity for a return for Newman. Nosker on the pursuit and able to bring him down along with number 22. That's Tristan Hovey.
Yeah, not the first time this year that we've seen that, but we've said before Derek Nosker is the long snapper. He's also the first guy down on many of the plays when the ball is caught on a punt, and he was about the second guy down there that time, and he chased him down. So good hustle by Derek after snapping that ball and then getting down there.
All right, 10:03 to go here, and another water break. And a reminder at the end of this game, we'll be picking the Scott's MVP of the week. Still up for grabs.
Yeah, whoever is going to author this great comeback could put their name right on top of that trophy right there and set it on their nightstand in their bedroom and just be able to stare at it for the rest of their lives.
Knowing that they came into Newman and had a comeback for the ages.
Yes, 10:03 to go, down 41-14. Seems like a good time to do it.
You ever part of any big comebacks?
Was ever part of any? On the receiving end, when it's Morrison our junior year.
Was that when Scott Willems just ran over the the left side of our defense on the entire second half? I was just having a conversation with Scott Rickles, who was coaching that team at the time.
Was he? Okay. Yeah, he must have been an assistant coach.
Yep, he was.
I think we were up 28-3 in the third quarter.
All right, wishbone offense for Newman, and able to avoid a couple of tackles, finally brought down, and going to pick up 4 or 5 on that play.
Caleb Reamer was in there first, and he tried to strip the ball away, and good strength by the Newman ball carrier to not allow that, but he did spin him back in there in a gang tackle for a short gain. 2nd and 6 will be the result. Clock running, 9:50 to go.
Newman showed that they're a well-rounded football team today so far. Able to run the football and pass the football against us. All right, got to pitch the ball. Going to try to go outside. Good pursuit by the Panther defense, but a nice job by the Newman running back to avoid a tackle and get positive yardage out of that.
Yeah, I think that was Tristan Hovey. No, it was we got so many papers here. It was Noah Wetzel in there. Made him change direction, but he was able to cut back off of that and get pretty decent yardage. Going to be 3rd and 2, right about at midfield.
Newman coming to the line for a 3rd down and short. Wishbone offense. It's likely we'll see most of the time here in this 4th quarter. We're going to hand it the second guy through. Left side's got a big gain. Be up past the first down marker inside Panther territory and down to the 42.
Yeah, good size hole there, and he was able to cut back inside for the 8-yard gain. Yeah, the thing about Newman, they once in a while they'll pass a little bit more than often. I'm used to seeing them be double tight in a wishbone, but the one thing that's always consistent with Newman is how good their defense is, and they've shown that again. We just have just the 2 scores, and they're just always very sound on the defensive side.
Same play again off the left guard, left tackle, and another nice run.
Caleb Reamer was kind of in there at first, made him change direction, and that Noah Wetzel, sophomore running back and linebacker, getting a little bit of action. I don't know exactly who he's in there for. It might be Jordan Crow, who is, I thought, running on the field, but looks like it's Mason Minson coming in as Caleb Reamer's coming off.
Connor Johnson on that stop. 2nd and 4 for the Comets. 7:32 to go here in the 4th quarter. And Newman quarterback already looking at that back judge, waiting for the count. And same play again, same result. First down, Comets.
Yeah, you were just talking about the comeback I was a part of where it was just Scott Willem off the right side for like 7 plays in a row. And Newman, they just said, well, if we're going to get 6 yards every time we run off left tackle, we're just going to keep doing it. And that's what they've done. So they moved the chains again. As soon as they get set, clock will keep going, which it is, 7-10. They're using every second of the clock. That's why it seems like there's a little dead air here. They're just waiting until the back judge starts to count. And they get 5 seconds from the time he starts counting to get the snap off.
Up under center, same play. And once again, same result. Up past the first down marker. Going to get brought down by 2 or 3 Panthers. But a gain of 10-plus yards, 13 on that play. And another first down to the 15-yard line. Clock stops momentarily.
Nice run by Danny Welty on that one. He carried defenders quite a ways on that. I believe Newman has brought in some subs as well. It looks like number 14, a sophomore, Jamison Hanlon, is now at quarterback. 6:20 to go in the game.
Short gain of, well, not a short gain, that's a gain of 4.
Yeah, both teams have freely substituted quite a bit. Carson Irick, sophomore, in on that stop. First time we've heard his name this year. I believe he's a good contributor on the fresh soft team.
Sophomores will be hosting Newman on Monday night. Get an opportunity to come on out and support them. Same play, left side. Connor Johnson, I believe, is on that stop.
Yeah, the running back on that one, he had a lot of room on the left side that he could have just broke that to the corner of the end zone, and for whatever reason, he decided to turn that into contact. Fortunate for the Panthers, because I think he could have housed that one. I didn't even see the great big media screen they have over here on this side of the field. I keep looking back to this other scoreboard. I'm used to that. Well, you should have told me about that.
Oh, sorry you didn't see it. All right, ball down inside the 10-yard line. Third down for the Comets. And a little cutback and a first down inside the 5 down to the 2 are the Comets.
Yeah, that was the junior Danny Welty on that carry. A nice cutback, like you said. Moves the ball down to the 2. They're going to keep the clock going with 4:50 to go. Waiting for one of the linemen to tie his shoe. Don't see that coming out of a huddle very often.
There's a handoff, same play once again, and into the end zone, and for the score are the Comets.
Yeah, he ran right into John Holland right there and was able to, oh no, excuse me, that was Mason Minson, number 60. They both met at the last scrimmage, able to fall forward for the touchdown, 47-14.
All right, likely, it looks like the Comets will go for 2 here, up 47-14. Wishbone, and they're going to give it to the second back through on the right side, and he's into the end zone for a 2-point conversion.
Oh, yeah.
Number 35, Tim Clody, in for the 2-point conversion.
And Comets put 49 points on the Panther defense today.
Yeah, you know, and the first 2, they only had to go a total of about 11 yards. That really put us under, a bad spot right off the get-go. But they do have the ability to move the ball down the field, that's for sure, because the rest of their touchdowns, that's exactly what they did. It was a really unfortunate start for us with the interception and the fumble on the kickoff. Really put us in a bad spot, and we just weren't able to recover for it. You know, we really did and get those 14 points in the first to end the first half. Got us back in it, but we have not moved it very well in this second half.
No, it's unfortunate, too. I really thought we would come into today and put a good showing up, and just wasn't in the cards for the Panthers today.
Yeah, this is a really nice Newman team, which, you know, you could say that just about every given year since the mid-'80s. Can't imagine how many playoffs they've missed in the last 30 years.
Hadn't been many.
No.
Makes you also wonder what happened in the first half of the Mendota game last week because,
right.
you know, Mendota had them on the ropes.
Yeah.
Wetzel deep for the Panthers.
So, again, next week, like Scott mentioned a little while ago, home game against Rock Ridge, another tough opponent. Panthers will be going away from here, licking their wounds and regrouping, put a game plan together. Good kick here. Going to get fielded at about the 16-yard line, straight up the field. And a good return up past the 30-yard line to about the 32.
Yeah, that was Lane Decker again on that return. And Alex Ottens, a junior, shout him out on that kickoff. He did a great job of just blocking his guy all the way down the field. And the defender turned on the official is like, what are you going to call him? He's like, well, it's a block is what's happening to you. You know, you need to turn against the aggression and get back in the game.
So we had a lot of substitutions on the defensive side of the football. We'll have to see if Coach Abbott and Coach Whitebread want to do the same on the offensive side or if they'll bring their starting unit back on and see if they can sustain a drive.
Looks like we're doing another water break at the after the change of possession.
We got 4:15 left in the game. And we're in discussions here for the Scots MVP of the week.
Yeah.
These are the tough games to come up with one, right?
Can we give it to Michelle and Oscar?
What an outstanding feat. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you think of all the golf shots you've hit on a par 3 over your life, you just never been able to get one in there.
Yep. Nope. Just more reason to go play more.
Yeah, we're going to have to.
Yep. That's what I'm going to tell my wife on the ride home.
Not going to get any better sitting at home.
All right, Keegan is going to stay at quarterback. Looks like he does have a couple of newcomers in the backfield with him. Oh, and that center exchange goes way behind him, and he's going to just fall on it back at the 18-yard line. Poor snap there.
Yeah, I think most of the line, most everybody out there except for Keegan is new. So that was just a poor snap on that. Probably, you know, some backups and then, you know, a fair number of kids from the fresh off. 3:50 clock running. 2nd and 21.
Couple of receivers split wide left. All new numbers out there for skill set positions. There's a better snap. 33 is going to get the carry. And met pretty quickly, gained a 3 on that play. That's Noah Wetzel. Heard his name several times today and getting a little action.
Yep, on the kickoff returns. He's a sophomore, 5'7", 150 pounds, running back and linebacker. Keegan runs over to the hash to get the play as he does all the time and runs back 3rd and very long. They've got it listed at 17, but I think it's longer than that.
2 receivers out left for the Panthers, 2 backs in the backfield with Keegan. They're going to hand the ball off this time. I think that's James, 44, James Lopez, a sophomore.
44, James Lopez.
5'7", 215 pounds. I'm sure he's a big part of that undefeated fresh soft team.
Brought down by number 33.
Able to get his first varsity carry.
Short gain and brings up a 4th and very long for the Panthers. And big number 77 getting a standing ovation from his teammates back to receive the punt.
Cooper Spears sounds like a crowd favorite. You don't see number 77 on punt returns too often.
Keegan going to kick the football away. I don't think this one's going to get returned. And Comets get away from it, and it's going to get down at the Comet 46-yard line by number 54, Hayden DeVore. 2:05 to go here in the game. And Comets will take over 1st and 10.
See if they are doing the change of possession water break. EP's just coming out in the field saying we're ready to go. I think Newman's going to do the same. They're not. Doesn't look like they're bringing the water out. Yeah, it's going to be a nice new look at our field next week. We got new lights. We got a new sound system, new bleachers, and the bleachers are centered on the field. As you know, most of the bleachers at Erie were just kind of added on. They always used to just kind of sit by the finish line of the track events, and they just kind of were over on that side of the field. Now they will be centered on the field. They'll be higher up. They'll go higher up, all one big section of bleachers. So looking forward to trying those out next week.
We've got no official confirmation yet, and we've taken a knee, are the Comets, and they're a couple of snaps away from having this be an official football game in the books. 49-14 is your score, minute and 54, clock ticking. We haven't got an official word that things are going to be ready to go. Be watching that both Provincetown and Erie's Facebook pages, along with Rock River Community Radio's website, Facebook page. We will get that word out to you as quick as we can. Trying to figure out player of the game. Working through some stats, so.
Yeah.
No.
There's a 105 left to go in the game. 49-14. So you want to go ahead and give your Scots player of the game while we still have time?
Yeah, we will. For the second week in a row, we're going to give the Scots MVP of the week to Gavin Adams. Gavin had a couple of touchdown receptions in that late in the first half and early in the second half or third quarter, I believe it was. Was an integral part trying to get him folded into the running game a little bit. Obviously, doing a really good job of just kind of being the feature guy. And started last week in week 2, and you see it again in week 3. He's been the kind of the go-to guy, sure-handed. Had a nice the first touchdown that he had was a catch and run, so showed his legs and speed there. And then the second touchdown that he had in the corner of the end zone, showing great hands and just an understanding of where he was on the football field to get to the corner of that end zone. So again, congratulations to Gavin Adams, Scott's MVP of the week for a second straight week.
Yeah, it's not as much fun to give those off after a loss, but he had a great game. Looks like he's going to have a good future the last 6 games of this season, hopefully leading us to at least 3 more victories so we can be playoff eligible. Hopefully we can just shore up any mistakes. We had a couple drops, had a couple interceptions, and we just put ourselves in a bad position. But tough team here, Newman. They moved to 3-0. We moved to 2-1. Which is still that's where we wanted to be at no worse when the season started. So looks like everybody's walking off healthy. You always like to see that. So we'll have a full roster of Panthers ready to go against Rock Ridge next week.
Yeah, and we're certainly hoping Keegan Cole works through the concussion protocol and is able to get back on the field next week. Everybody stays healthy and gets through the sicknesses. I know Braden Frank and several of the others over the course of the last week and a half have dealt with that. Hopefully that's in the rear view for this team, and they get a good week of practice in, get the little nicks and bruises that typically are coming out in weeks 3, 4, 5, 6, get those squared away, and come back ready to go against Rock Ridge. And hopefully we can do that thing in Erie and show off our. I'm looking forward to getting into the booth. Right, it looks watching the videos as it's coming down the road. It just looks it's like at Christmas, right? You just want to see it for the first time. Not that we've been blessed. We've been in Provincetown in week 1, week 0 in week 1. They have a great booth. It's been great to have a.
Yeah, we're just gonna have our own little room there, so it'll be nice.
Yeah. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and sign off. I hope that you had enjoyed the broadcast Panthers obviously came up short on the short end of the stick, and that's just the way that it is. They'll come back next week. We'll do it all again. And until then, take care. God bless.